Well, hello everyone, welcome to another video. It is me, Desiree, and today, right before the sun sets, it is very cloudy outside and it was storming so crazy. I'm gonna insert a little video here so you can see what it was like. Check it out. It's hailing. Look at all this water that's flooding. Oh my goodness. Wow. Look at all this water coming off the roof. Oh, it's freezing out here too. I hadn't seen a storm like that in a long time. The marble-sized hail was flying from the sky and it was decimating our plants. All the squashes, anything that had a really big leaf is destroyed. The cucumbers are all broken. Like it's wild out there. Anyway, the sky is all stormy and it's the sun, you know, it's coming in and out. But now that I have a little bit of light, I thought I would share with you my current alocasia collection. So I did a video a while back called I'm Alocasia Crazy, and I showed you all of the plants I had. And of course it's changed, it's ebbed and it's flowed. I have acquired some have died, but it is now, it looks different now. So I thought I would share with you what I currently have, how I care for them, and just kind of give you a little update on all my alocasias. I have all of them sitting here on this table in a south-facing window. They freaking love it there so much. The leaves get so big. I love it there too, but I have one more in my other room that I have to go get. I think I just watered it, so it's gonna be super big and heavy and wet, but I'll go get that in a minute. But for now, let me gather up all my plants here on the table so we can start talking about them. All right, let's start with the big boy first. I was just gonna show like a video insert on this plant, but I thought you guys would love to see it in real life. Dang, I'm out of shape. This is an Alocasia Frydeck that I found at Home freaking Depot. Believe it or not, I found this at Home Depot. I'm not even gonna be able to get this whole plant in the frame because it's so big. This was $30 and look how big the leaves are on this thing. What if you guys had actually sent me a comment one time saying that they had Frydeck at Home Depot? I want to say it was last year or earlier this year. And when I went over there, they had these same big giant pots, but the one that was left had like 2 or 3 leaves in it, and I was like, oh, I don't really want that. And then I found this. I found this back in, I want to say June. I want to say I found this back in June because it wasn't in my July budget video. So yeah, I want to say I got this back in June. They have some really good alocasia right now. They have those big giant stingrays, the huge ones, the one I bought last year or earlier this year, that I find that one really hard to deal with. But this one here so far has been really easy. It lives in the other room. It gets decent light all day, but nothing really bright or anything. But look at these leaves, like isn't this crazy? I love this plant a lot, and I went back and forth on it and whether I should get it. Ultimately, obviously I got it and I don't regret it for a second. I would have regretted it if I hadn't had got it. So keep your eyes peeled at Home Depot. They're getting some really good alocasias right now, and big ones, really big ones. I mean, look at this thing. So far it's been really, I want to say easy. I don't let it dry out all the way. Give it as much light as you possibly can. So far it hasn't had any pests, but I'm sure it's going to get one eventually. Usually spider mites is what alocasia tends to get. But I'll link below my alocasia video where I talk about how I clean spider mites off of them. If you want to check that out, it's really easy. But yeah, love this one so much. Keep an eye out at Home Depot. They're killing it with the alocasias lately. And pretty much all of these need water right now, which is perfect timing, so they weren't all wet when I was carrying them over here. Let me clear some space so we can talk about my babies. I also should have brought the scissors in here because there's a couple of things I want to cut off on some of these. So let's talk about this one right here first. Let me move this Ivory Coast out of the way. This one right here is called Purple Cloak. At least that's what it was listed as. And this is one that has grown on me. This wasn't one that I particularly loved, and I used to have 2 of them. One of them didn't do well, and I had no interest in trying to like save it. But this one has done remarkably well, and I really like this plant now. It's one that I didn't really like that much, but I love it. I love this leaf shape. I love how big these leaves are. I mean, look how big that one is. It's huge. Like, look at my hand and look at that leaf. Humongous. So pretty. This is a brand new leaf. It feels like super wet. And then there's another leaf coming in right here and another one right there. I don't know why I never liked this one. I just didn't, I don't know, it just didn't do anything for me. But now that it's growing and it looks beautiful, I'm like, okay, fine, I like you now. But yeah, I love this one a lot. I do have the same care for all of these. I do not let them get dried out like I normally do with all my other plants. I don't let them get dried out. Like, this is probably the driest I've let this one get in a very long time. Don't let them get dried out. Give them as much light as possible, and check them regularly for spider mites. There are spider mite magnets. I have treated these multiple times for spider mites, but they will bounce back as long as you catch it relatively quickly. And that's kind of it. They're super easygoing plants for the most part. Of course, some are harder than others, like the Alocasia stingray. I can't keep that thing alive to save my life or its life. I've had 3 of them, even a gigantic one. They're no longer with us. I don't supplement any humidity for these plants either. They seem to be doing just fine. But again, I think it's because I'm keeping them on the moist side. But this one's really cool, and I can't believe how much I like it, because I used to hate it. I used to hate it, honestly. Poor thing, it's not his fault. And then right here we have Alocasia Tiny Dancer. I think this one is so cool. I just love these really, really, really long stems and this tiny little leaf that's on the tip of the leaf. The tip of the stem. I love it. I think it's really cool. The only thing with these is the way that the leaf is shaped. It has like the leaf part, but it's like folded right here. There's like a little cavern inside there where spider mites love to hang out. And this one has gotten spider mites probably more than any of the other ones have. But again, just make sure and spray it on a regular basis. I get my little finger in there and I get all inside the little crevices. And I love this one. This one reminds me so much of the one that's called the flying squid or something. I really, really want that. But until I get that one, this will have to just fill that void of a weird, like tall, stringy looking alocasia. And it's just so different from all the other alocasias that are out there, because usually they all have really big leaves and this one just has tiny, tiny leaves. And I think it looks so weird and so cool, and I love it. He's my baby. Getting dirt everywhere, of course. This one here is called Ivory Coast. This is another really, really beautiful one. I mean, the leaf shape on a lot of them is very similar, but it's like the color of the leaf, the veining, that's kind of what makes it different. The stems. So there was one, I just had a sneezing attack. There was one at the nursery yesterday that I saw that was called Ebony, I think, but it looked exactly like this, but it had really dark, almost black stems. It was so pretty. I ended up putting it back because it looks so similar to all the other ones I have. But there's a lot of them out there that look very similar. They just have a very different, like one different thing about them that makes, like anyone that wants to collect them, you'll be out there forever trying to collect them all because there's so many really cool ones. But I like this one a lot. Again, with the really tall stems, I think it's really nice, just like this light pink color. So this one here is one of my favorites, one of my oldest ones as well. It is the Alocasia Maharani. This is probably one of the easiest ones too, and I think it's because of how thick the leaves are. It can be very forgiving with underwatering. I still stay on top of the watering on this one because I don't want it to die, but it's so beautiful. It does have a couple of leaves turning yellow, like this one down here. But you know, plants just do that. Sometimes plants, you know, will kill off a leaf for other things. But in the last few days, this thing sprouted up flowers, which is pretty cool. There's one right there too, and oh, there's another one right here. I kind of think I'm going to cut the flowers off of this though. Normally I don't cut off flowers from plants. I like them to just live their plant life, and I want to see all the different things it can do. But I wonder if that's why this leaf died, because this one doesn't kill off leaves all that often, but I wonder if that's why it might be putting a lot of energy into the flowers, you know? And they're not like anything remarkable. They're just like, they just look like that. These ones, what do you think? Let me know. Let me know what you think. Do you cut the flowers off? I mean, a lot of the time I like to see what they look like, but also like, I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. If another leaf starts turning yellow, I'll cut them off, but I think they look kind of cool, and mine don't flower all that often, and I don't think this one ever has. But I love this one. It's beautiful. I mean, it's got that really great dark green, thick quilted leaf. It's so, so pretty. Was that a yellow spot? Maybe I will cut those leaves off. The flowers? Because I don't want 2 more leaves to turn yellow, you know? Anyway, let's move on to another one. This is one of my favorites here, the Alocasia Cuprea. You might remember this from my April Fool's video. I love this one a lot. I can't believe it had grown back, and it's also growing another leaf right here, which is very, very cool. This one's really unique. It just has this, look at that freaking leaf. Look at that. It looks like an oil slick. Just beautiful. It is a 1-leaf wonder right now, but I can't even believe it has 1 leaf because this thing was like dead, dead, dead. And it's growing another leaf. I'm so excited about this one. Yeah, these all need water. This one feels a little moist. I won't water this one, but the other ones are like, feed me, Seymour. What am I doing with my life? Okay, Alocasia Cuprea, beautiful. We love him. This one here is one, I think I featured this in my favorites video. When did I talk about this one recently? This is the Pink Dragon Alocasia. It's got these beautiful pink stems. And this was the only leaf it had for a really long time. I think this leaf is so beautiful. Probably in my whole house of plants, this is one of my favorite leaves. I love the color of it. I love the shape. I love how when you look at it like this, like it's a little wavy. I think it's so freaking beautiful. But this was a 1-leaf wonder for a very long time until it grew that leaf. But doesn't it look so different than that leaf? Like this one's really big and round and this one's like long and narrow. Like don't those look like they're from 2 different plants? But yeah, this plant, I don't know why it grew this humongous leaf out of nowhere. I think it's so beautiful though. Look at that beautiful veining. Like this could be a philodendron leaf or something. Ooh, so pretty. Love, love, love this one. I never thought it was gonna grow another leaf. This is one here. I do wish I brought the scissors in for this too, because this one has a leaf that I want to cut off because I'm pretty sure it's dead or it's dying. This is the Alocasia Syrian. I mean, look how tall the stem is. This is how tall it is. That's the leaf right there. This is the dead leaf that I got to cut off. This is a beautiful one. I see this every now and then at Home Depot. I think next time I see one, I might buy it. I also saw this at Smith's when I was going on like my $6.99 plant rampage that I did a while back. They had this one there too, but I already had one and I always regretted not buying another one because I think it's so beautiful. Like just that really extreme leaf shape. Like it's just such a deep cut V. Like it's not rounded off at all. This beautiful green veining, like it looks fake, but look how tall the stems are. Like why are they so tall? I don't know. What do we have left? I think just one. I think this is the last one. This is the Alocasia, what is it called? Alocasia Regal Shields. I knew it would come to me. This is one of the thirstiest plants that I own. I want to say it's because it's so freaking big and because of how much sun that it gets in the afternoon. I have to water this every couple of days. It is in a small pot, I guess, for its size, but it seems to be doing fine in there. It is growing a new leaf, which is very, very cool. The new leaves are so freaking beautiful because they're like this nice maroon color, like almost like a brown maroon. They're really pretty. I'm just gonna show you this leaf here because it's gonna knock everything over. Look how big it is. Absolutely freaking humongous. Like this looks like one of those alocasias or a colocasia even that you'd want to grow outside in your yard. It's so beautiful. Right now it has 4 full grown leaves on it, and then this is the new leaf here. I am expecting a leaf to fall off because so far every time a leaf has grown in, there has been one fall off. And I am expecting one to just one day be bent in half, and then the new leaf will take its spot. And that's totally fine with me because this plant is so big and it's always pushing towards the window, so I'm always having to turn it so it'll lean back this way because it covers the other plants and it covers up all the succulents that are on the windowsill. This is one that for a long time I did regret buying it just because of how big it is, but now I kind of love it and I just have to kind of keep moving it around on the table, but it's totally fine. But yeah, that is it. Those are all of the alocasias I currently have. We had the Regal Shields, Tiny Dancer, Pink Dragon, Ivory Coast, Syrian, Cuprea, Maharani, and what was that one? Frydeck. I only have 8 alocasias. Interesting. I think the table just looks a lot fuller than it actually is. I don't know. But anyway, that is it. Let me know what your alocasia collection currently looks like. I would love to know your favorites, your fails, all that kind of stuff, or if you even like alocasia. I know a lot of people don't. And one of you guys actually told me, or in a comment said you didn't like them because the new leaf grows out of the stem of another leaf. And you didn't like that very much. I think it's kind of cool, but you know, not everyone has to like every plant, you know what I mean? But yeah, that is it. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe so you don't miss my next one. And I will see you later in another video. Goodbye.